All right, Pensacola. Good morning. Good morning. You got Vernon this morning. Yes, you do. I want to welcome everybody to the Vernon this morning show. We got a lot going on this morning. We gotta have some guests on this morning. Yes, sir. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. The hump day, y'all. Hump day, hump day, hump day. Okay? Yeah, we on hump day today. We're going to start off this morning with like we always do. We're going to talk about a little bit of what's going on in the world. Okay? A little bit of what's going on in the world and around the world, if you will. Everything, things that going on in the Pensacola area, news-wise, just headlines. We're going to talk about the community news, okay, and a little bit about weather and so forth this morning. And we add a little new feature to this event. Is we're going to be dealing with a little bit about Black history this morning as well. It's about 7:30 time frame. About 7:30 time frame. We're going to try to bring on Mr. Community, what I call Mr. Ellison Bennett. He's going to be talking to us around the 7:30 time frame. And at 8 o'clock, we got another special guest, a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Charles D. Thornton, will be on as well. Mr. Charles D. Thornton will be on as well. And then I'll talk a little more about Black history and so forth. But anyway, right now, I just need you to make sure that you tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning, right? Vernon is on this morning. And so you reach out and you tell all of your friends, okay? Tell all your friends. If you're on Facebook, however you get this program, you can get it in various and sundry forms this morning, but however you get it, you just tell everybody that we on. You go ahead and share it with them this morning. All right, I tell you what, I'll be right back as soon as we finish these messages here, okay?
Singing telegram! Happy, happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out!
The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
All right, good morning, Pensacola. Good morning, good morning. You got Vernon this morning. All right, go get you know what I did not do? I hadn't had my coffee this morning. Maybe I should have got my cup of coffee with me and brought it with me this morning, okay? Like I said, we're going to talk about some news items, and we're going to be also talking about MLK Parade. We are going to be talking about Star Child's homegoing services. Okay, Star Child homegoing services is going to be this coming up. In fact, I think it's going to be tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, Star Child's homegoing services. It's tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Okay, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and we'll get into that. Today, between 1 and 7 today, you should be able to go down to Joe Morris Funeral Home. Go down to Joe Morris Funeral Home and being able to view, to have a viewing between 1 and 7 today. So you can do that. But tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the new, I think it's 1610 North, I believe it is on Q Street, North Q Street. Okay, on North Q Street, they are going to be having Star Child Robert Laster. That's his real name, aka known as Star Child. They will be having his homegoing service at Reverend Peacock's church, right? That is New Birth Church, okay? At the New Birth Church, and he will be going. We're gonna send him home and send him home peacefully and everything. So they are going to plan to have the repast as well. Okay, going to plan to have the repast at the 850 Club at right behind Town and Country Plaza over on Delano. I believe it's Delano Street. Okay, I think it's Delano Street. The information, and we're going to be talking more about it as we go along here into the program. Okay, we'll talk about more as we go along into the program, and so that you can let you know what is the final results are. But in the meantime, let's find out what's happening around the world today, y'all, and what's happening in Pensacola. Okay, and what I want to tell you is that I'm just going to give a few of the headlines that's going on. So it's up to you to fact check me and to get the details on what's going on. But while you're getting up and while you're listening, while you're going to work, and whatever you're doing, I'm just going to give a little bit of the headline. If you pick up the probably Pensacola News Journal this morning, listen to WAR TV, another TV news source, you're going to probably hear a lot of these headlines, and you're going to know what's going on about it. But one of the headlines that hit the papers, hit the news, not necessarily the papers, but it hit the news starting yesterday. They got people up in the Perry Pass area a little up in arms. And you say, why are they up in arms over in Perry Pass? Because they had some trees that was mistakenly cut down. Not cut down, but was pruned, if you will. But they was historical trees, and the limbs hung down to the ground, and somebody on the command, the city is responsible, but they got a contractor. The contractor that cut some historical trees and limbs and stuff like that they shouldn't have cut. So they got all Pensacola up in arms. Okay, and they talk about this, what they call an unauthorized cut. The city said they did not authorize this cut, and so I believe the company, I don't remember the name of the company, but the company is going to probably be fined, and they are fined by the cut inch of the tree. So it's undetermined how many inches that the tree has been cut and so forth. But they cut and on whose authority, we don't know. I don't know exactly who. But read the story, read it in your news source, whatever news source you got, and get to the bottom of it. But if you live over in the Ferry Pass area, and you live over in that area where they cut those trees, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Also in the news, they also arrested a third person. You remember we had reported last week, and it's been in the news throughout the week and throughout several weeks now since it happened. A guy that I think his name was can't remember his name now, but that murdered two young children in a trailer park over on Flaxen Avenue. And he actually, when they determined that they were reported that the kids died into a trailer fire, and it had one survivor, but the owner of the trailer has been arrested for that crime, and it was determined that those two kids, young kids, were sexually assaulted and then was murdered, and then the house which was the mobile home, was set on fire to try to cover up the evidence, and they arrested him. That was the first development. The second development in that story is that now they're seeking the death penalty for him. Okay, they're seeking the death penalty for him. And the third development in this story that broke yesterday, that was a third party that has been arrested, a guy by the name of Michelle Eaton or something like that. He was arrested not in association with the two killings, that killing, but there was another killing, also murder, also over in Santa Rosa County, where a 14-year-old girl were murdered by two teenage boys, 14 and 16, I believe, 14 and 15 or something like that. Very young boys murdered a 14-year-old girl. Okay, and they got those two individuals in custody. They're determining now whether or not they're going to try them as children or they're going to try them as an adult. That has not been determined. But the problem with it, they arrested a third person on yesterday that was somehow involved. His name was Michelle Eaton, and he was the person that actually discovered the body. Okay, and he did not report it, and it's unclear to me. It is actually unclear to me why he did not report the body. But what they arrested him for is failing to report the body and also theft. And I don't know whether those two, if they failed to report the body and theft, are related or not. But again, that give you some homework to go and look up the story. Okay. Now, Escambia County Sheriff Department is also trying to seek an ordinance to widen the amount of space that a person can panhandle it on the street. Okay, right now the current ordinance says that you have to have at least 6 feet of space, but it's creating some problems along the way somewhere or another. It's creating some problems with the sheriff department. They said it's a safety hazard, and so the sheriff office is trying to seek an ordinance with the city and the city police department, trying to seek an ordinance to widen that space from 6 feet to 8.5 feet. So I know it's probably not important to you, but if you ever been driving and if you see people panhandling, and if it look like they're a little close to you, okay, and that is one of the issues that's involved with that. Okay. All right. Now, also in some of the state news, your Congressman Andrade is still on his mission about the misappropriations of monies. Okay, at misappropriation of monies at the state. It would Medicare funds that they use to fund the governor's wife pet project to the tune of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. And so uh, you need to read the story because he's saying that it was worse than what we thought. Okay, it's worse than what we thought. Also, I'm just going to backtrack just for 1 second while I was on the traffic idea about widening the streets there. The sheriff department and the city of Pensacola police department also they're concerned about the traffic flow, and they want FDOT, Florida Department of Transportation, to do a study right down the corner of 14th Avenue and Gregory Street. You know, they have had 3 fatal motorcycle accidents there, and so they are asking Florida Department of Transportation to do a study so they can do something about that as well. All right, if you're a party goer, and if you over in Baldwin County, if you hung out at the Hangout Festival this year, well, it has been canceled. Okay, it has been canceled for 2026, and you have to read the story behind it. But some of the rationales was that they didn't like the city council did not like the type of entertainment. First thing I wanted to look at was it entertainment black? I don't know, but anyhow, they didn't like the clientele that was attracting. So you know what that means. So they canceled it for 2026, but they got it on schedule for 2027 to get the type of entertainment they got. You read the story, you do what you need to do. Find out the details on the story. I'm just giving you the headline, giving you something to talk about and to read about when you get to work, when you go to work. You can put your foot up on the table and read your newspaper and get on your computer and get your news there. You can always get the details there. All right, now we got some little bit of chilly weather coming our way, and there are extreme cold weather up north. Okay, if you got relatives up in the north and northeast, they are experiencing some real tragic cold weather up there. So, and it's certainly a concern for you if you're traveling in that area. If you're trying to commute between home and work up in that area, it definitely is a problem. Okay, definitely is a problem. So, but we are also on the Gulf Coast are going to be experiencing a little bit more colder weather. So prepare for that. On yesterday, on the national news scene, y'all, there was a reported shooting on the Kentucky State University campus, okay, in Louisville, Kentucky. They had an active shooting on that campus on yesterday, and I have not heard of Kentucky State University in Louisville, but I understand. Fact check me on this. I understand that the Louisville, the Kentucky State University is a black university up there. Okay, so at least one person was reported killed, and one person is seriously injured in that shooting. They don't believe it was a random shooting. I think the perpetrators probably knew each other. Okay, probably knew each other. Also, while we're on the national news thing, is that I got Ellison Bennett calling, but I'm in the middle of my report here. But also on the national news item is that they want to release that pressure on the administration to release those videos of the boat strike. Okay, to release the videos of the boat strike. Okay, release the videos of the boat strike. There have been a lot of controversy about that. Okay, a lot of controversy about that. And you know, we're talking about releasing files. Whatever happened to releasing the Epstein file? Okay, so now they got another distraction from the Epstein file is to release the um, Venezuelan boats. Okay, release those files. Okay, and so there's a lot they can this administration can be doing. Okay, a lot they've been doing. And guess what else they need to rethought files they need to be releasing. Okay, what another file they need to be releasing is the files on Ghislaine Maxwell. They that files also need to be released as well. So they got to do a lot of releasing up in Washington, y'all. You better stay active and better stay on top of what's going on in your community. Okay, stay active and find out what's going on in your community. Another interesting thing that happened in the news on yesterday when we were talking about. Now, I told you a lot of things come in serious. They had another small plane crash. Okay, another small plane crash in Florida, right in Orlando. Okay, in Orlando, Florida, they had that plane to land on. I don't know. I think it was I-95, either I-4 had to be either I-4 or the Causeway. But anyway, it landed and on top of a car. But the good part about it is that everything is good. Okay, there was only minor injuries. Okay, only minor injuries in those incident. Okay, only minor injuries. Okay, and while we're on the state news, there's a lot going on in those news, and so I believe. Let me get here for. I got Ellison Bennett trying to get in here, but any rate, those there's a new bill in Tallahassee now trying to rein in the HOAs. If you're involved with the homeowners association and how people can have issues with the homeowners association, maybe some relief in the South, maybe the new bill trying to dissolve the HOAs and try to do some reform to it. Instead of having an HOA, they want you to have what they call a community court, and it make it more equitable. Right now, the HOA has all the power, and the homeowners don't have very little power, and so this is designed to help those folks with that. Okay. Another thing in the Hey, Ellison, I got Ellison on the phone, but Ellison, I have to call you right back. I'm in the middle of a report, okay?
Okay, all right.
Okay. All right. But at any rate, some disturbing news on the national front, if you will. They arrested a lady that had burned a 3 and a 5-year-old child, held their hands to a hot stove because it was asking for food to eat. You know, it was absolutely amazing. Okay, so you gotta. I tell you now, I don't know what the world is coming to, but I tell you now, it's something else that you might want to keep your eyes on stories like that. That just I don't know why. These crazy stories like that coming out. Also, we reported on yesterday, Denny's nationwide is closing. Okay, nationwide is closing, and we got people in Pensacola that work for Denny's in Pensacola they are complaining about their financial hardship because they wasn't getting paid. And when they was getting paid, the check was bouncing and so forth. Okay, so check was bouncing. Also on the national scene is that they claim that they, and I say claim, and it is reported, but you find out the details on this. Okay, there was 7 immigrants that was arrested and indicted in Pensacola this week. Okay, this week. One of the things, turning another page, one of the things you want to keep your eyes on right now is that it is becoming closer to the end of the month. And if you own Obamacare, if you are on Obamacare, okay, if you are on Obamacare, you might start looking at either having your insurance increased by double, because the subsidies that's expired to keep your costs low is going to expire at the end of December. Okay, expiring at the end of December. So you might want to keep your eyes on that. And that was the whole reason for the shutdown. And they did not get any remedy for that through the shutdown. That was the part of the problem. Affordability is the issue. Trump is on a lying tour, okay, about how great the economy is. They asked him yesterday in a news report how he doing on the economy and affordability, and they asked him to grade himself. He said he had an A+++. Now he's on a tour around the country trying to convince America that the prices are coming down and they're not high. Remember I told you when Trump speaks, you know when he's lying when he's opening his mouth, okay? But that is contrary to the facts. If you look at, for an example, coffee is up 41%, steaks is up 20%, orange juice is up 12%, and on and on and on. So he's on a bullshitting tour, okay, trying to bullshit his way out of this. That's not going to happen, okay? Also, if you want to just on the financial front here, if you want to make a little bit of money, there's a guy out there. I was going to pull up, I didn't have time to pull up his picture, but they got a $15 million bounty on his head. He should be considered as a drug kingpin. He was an Olympian champion or whatever he did, but he turned crook, I guess. And when he turned crook, now the United States somebody got a $15 million bounty on his head. So if you happen to see him, you might be able to make your money that way. If you don't make your money that way, maybe you can make it in the Powerball. Okay, because the Powerball is up to $930 million. Y'all, that's almost $1 billion. $930 million. Okay, $930 million. So you do what you need to do on that home front. And lastly, before I go to commercial break, okay, that and it's a concern for us here. Australia just banned social media for kids under 16 years old. And you know, when one country do something, the other country might catch on. And there was some talk about social media here. So make sure you look out for that, okay? All right, y'all, those are some of the top hot headlines that's been going on in Pensacola, going on in the state of Florida, and around the world. So get your news source, and you can get deep and go do a deep dive into that. Okay. All right, y'all. Before I go to a commercial break, I want you to tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning. Get your coffee cup, have coffee with Vernon. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Let's talk about what's going on in the community. And I also want to say good morning to some friends of mine up in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Miss Angela Scott. Hey, sugar, how you doing? Robert Atkins over in I believe Robert is over in Augusta, Georgia, and Mrs. Pruitt up in St. Louis, Missouri, and so forth. So I just want to shout out to them this morning because they got us tuned in. All right, y'all. I'll be right back after these commercial messages.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, Penair's high-yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. Penair Credit Union. Join us.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors, all when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
All right, Pensacola, welcome back to Vernon this morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Before we go any further, y'all, I want to make sure if you're listening to us on Facebook or YouTube, I want you to do is like, join, and if you have not subscribed to the show, to my YouTube page, WBQP YouTube page, go in there and subscribe, if you will. Like us, and also share us with everybody else. And if you're interested in getting this station, the only thing you have to do is and the only thing you need is a phone. You can get it many other ways, but if you wanted to get this program really quickly, just pick up your phone, and when you pick up your phone, just go to the WBQP TV app. If you got it downloaded, also you probably already got it downloaded on your phone already. But if you do not have it downloaded, it's just very easy. Just type into your app browser or into your computer browser. Just type in rdo.to/WBQP and put it into your social media account and send it to all of your friends. Put it into your text account and send it to all of your contacts in your text, and therefore they will have access to WBQP TV and the new WBQP TV radio. Okay, this is the new, what I call the new WBQP TV radio. Okay, TV radio. So but let everybody know that it's so easy to get us. Okay, so easy to get us on that. If you're looking at if you got it in the palm of your hand. But if you're looking at television, and if you're in town, if you're local in town, if you're looking at TV, you can just get an antenna. and pick us up on antenna on channel 12, okay? Pick us up on channel 12. But if you don't have an antenna, don't worry about it. We own everything except we're not on the cable system. We're not on the direct TVs and cable systems, okay? But we are on your Roku channel. Just download the app on Roku. If you don't have a Roku, you got a Fire Stick. If you don't have a Fire Stick, I know you got Apple TV. If you don't have Apple TV, I know you got an Android TV, an Android TV box. Or if you don't have that, you got a Samsung TV. So we're, those apps. If all else fails and you still want to pick us up, you can just go to our website, okay, WBQPTV.com. Just that easy, WBQPTV.com. WBQPTV.com. And talk about that as well. Y'all know Christmas is coming up. Christmas is coming. I got a little Christmas treat for you. I'm gonna play for you. For those folks that and not get you into the kind of help get you into the Christmas spirit, y'all. Yeah, to put you in the Christmas spirit. But after that, after we get that done, okay, after we play that and after we talk about going to shopping, how many shopping days now? How many shopping days? Is not very many shopping days between now and Christmas, okay? Not very many shopping days, so you go ahead and get your shop on right now. And also, while you're doing that, make sure you support the sponsors of these shows, like Viola's Menswear and all these folks there. If you want some herbal teas, you go to Sanja Faye's, and let's have a Black Christmas this year, y'all. At least let's do a Black Christmas. I always say that everything else in the world as black is identified as being bad, Black Sunday, Black Friday, and not Black Friday, but a black cat, and everything, death, Black Rose, everything that symbolizes black is generally symbolized as bad, except for Black Friday. Think about it. Black Friday is a good thing, okay? And so so let's have a Black Christmas, y'all. Let's have I want to pull out the stops and say, let's have a Black Christmas. I'm going to play a Christmas song, y'all, from Otis. Otis, he was talking to his girl, singing a song to his girl, Boquisha. Okay? He sang a song to his girl called Boquisha. So, I hope that helped put you in the Christmas spirit. But when we come back from that, though, when we come back from that song, y'all, hopefully we're gonna be talking to Mr. Ellison Bennett. Ellison is a community man, and he always know what's going on in the community. So I call him Mr. Community, okay? I call him Mr. Community because he's always got his hands in his ears to the grindstone in the community, so he knows everything. All right, y'all. Here's a little Christmas joy for you here. All right, here we go.
Hello? I would like to speak to Bonquisha. Otis? Yes, this is Otis. She don't want to talk to you. Well, tell her she is going to hear me one way or the other. Either she steps outside or either she's going to hear me through the door. You know, Bonquisha, ever since you and I stopped seeing each other, I ain't been doing nothing but thinking. I ain't been able to sleep. I ain't been able to do nothing that required you being in it. Baby, I know that we've had rough times before, but we got through it. Like the time all the power went off in the house, and we had to finish cooking the collard greens on the Happy Heater, but we did it together. Or the time that the froster didn't work on the microwave, and the turkey was still frozen. Remember, we had to get chicken down from Larry's long neck leg quarter late night chicken house. Remember? But now I don't have you, and that's why I'm having these Christmas blues. Yes, Christmas blues. Sometimes I wonder, was it worth it? Waking up early in the morning to go to the Little Champ to get you 3 pickled eggs, some Lay's plain potato chips, and a Coca-Cola. I said, self, was it worth it? And myself answered back, yes, it was real worth it. I miss you, and I love you so much. I'll do anything to make you mine again. I'm also lonely, so sad and blue. I'm spending Christmas Day without you. I am very, very sad and lonely. But anyway, let me tell you something. I do have you and the kids a present this year. I had y'all a present last year, but you know, my alternator broke in my truck, and you know I need my truck for to go to work. And so I had to take the receipt, take all the presents back, and fix my alternator. But I do got you a present this year. I didn't have time to wrap it up. I got it in some brown pick and save bags. Also, I got some wine. I got some cold duck, baby. You need to open the door. He quacking. I remember one Christmas, maybe 3 Christmases ago, we ran out of ham, and you said you wanted another ham. But you really didn't say you wanted another ham. I just figured that's what you wanted. So they had a 12 dozen crab special, so I got you a dozen of big blue crabs. I mean, I'm just saying, I just hope this Christmas is a little different. You know, I just want a little turkey, a little that sweet, sweet plum dressing. You know, I just want the kids to be happy. And you know, Bonquisa, I know when we got married, I vowed to give you diamonds and pearls. But when I hurt my back at work, my workman's comp could only get zirconia and Gannon necklaces. I also said that when we moved out of your mama's house, we were going to move into a place double her size. That's why I got 2 trailers and put them together. Yes, baby, double wide. All those things I done for you and the kids, but I still have these Christmas blues because I'm spending Christmas out the kids and you. I love you, Bonquisha, I love you. But you know what? One thing I want to tell you this year about Christmas, last year when you served up all the turkey and you know all of the trimmings and everything, when the cranberry dressing got round to me, there was none left. So please, could you, I hope you have 2 cans of cranberry dressing in there because I love that cranberry sauce. Please, thank you, and please open the door, baby, it's cold.
That's Otis and Boquisha, y'all. Otis and Boquisha. All right, y'all. You come on in just a few minutes, y'all. She's just going to come on in just a few minutes and talk to you about what's happening around Pensacola and also around the 8 o'clock time frame, y'all. Around the 8 o'clock time frame, we are going to be talking with Mr. Charles Thornton today about some things that's going on in his world. Definitely we'll be talking to Charles. Me and Charles been knowing each other a long time, and Charles is a Republican, y'all, and I want to know from Charles, you know, about what, you know, why they think the way they think. I just need to understand that. You know, my grandmama used to tell me all the time, okay? She used to tell me all the time. She said, son, they say it's 2 sides to a story, but you don't believe that. She said, there's always 3 sides to a story. I said, Grandma, what you mean about 3 sides to a story? She said, because it's always your side, my side, and the third side is the truth. Okay, that's true, because you're going to tell it from your vantage point, I'm going to tell it from mine, but the truth is somewhere in between. Okay, and so that's what we want to know about the truth. And I say to you that I don't agree with probably nothing that Republican parties are doing, but they're doing it for a reason, and it may not be for a good reason, but they think their way is the best way, and they think it's how it's supposed to be done. Tomorrow, though, we're going to be talking to from Derek, and then from the Pensacola, Escambia County, Pensacola Democratic Party, in fact, the Black Caucus. And they got some interesting facts that you probably need to know, and you probably need to understand why we was able to turn Escambia County blue this year. Okay, we actually turned in 2024 election. We turned Escambia County blue because we got over half of the over half of the voters in Escambia County, over half of them are black. So we can definitely make a difference this morning. I got Mr. Ellison Bennett on the phone. Ellison, good morning.
Good morning, Vernon, and thank you so much for the morning show on WBQP, because the information that Mr. Hill used to give out, people are not getting that no more because the new owners of the station, and if I'm incorrect mentioning this, they were off the air Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hill normally would come on at 6:30 in the morning, and after him, you have the gospel or whatever. That is not happening right now.
No, that is the reason for this show here, Ellison. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen on that station. They decided they want to go a different direction, and so it's not going to happen. That gave rise to what I'm doing today. Okay, that's why I get up every morning, just like Hill. I feel an obligation that Hill has passed the baton to me to run this radio.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
just like WBOP radio passed it to Hill. Now Hill is passing it to me because we are in this city. We need information, and we need to know what's going on in this community. When I got in this business over 30 years ago, we had a lot of black sources of information. Okay, we had radio, TV, newspaper, magazine, all that. Look like to me right now, and I may be wrong, but I look like only man standing. I never would have believed that. I never believed that I would be here after 30 years later with this television station. And so I just want to share with you as well, and this audience, that because the new owners are going in towards a different direction, that gave rise to this show, and also gave rise to me. So I created a radio station. I could have did it a long time ago, but I wouldn't have done anything to compete against Mr. Hill. Not at all. So, but now that he's retired and the service is not rendered, I wouldn't have done it even with the new owners had they picked up the baton, but they didn't. So I feel obligated that we should continue the legacy that Robert Hill created. Okay, the legacy that he created, and people of so used to getting up every morning and listening to Hill in the morning. Okay, that's the first thing we did. We get up. Exactly. We get up and we take a bath to Hill in the morning while we're listening to the radio. Back then, everybody had radios in the house, so we turn on the radio and get ready to go to work. And when we leave out of the house and get into the car, and we listen to Hill in the morning in the car and drop the kids off to school and listen to Hill in the morning and on our way to work. Then when we get to work, we turn the radio on at work and on low and listen to Hill in the morning. And so this is what we've been doing for 30 years. And I don't think new owners understand and appreciate how vital the information.
Getting information to the public. And I understand about the baton being passed, because one thing I promised Reverend Matthews in this new era in which we live, I would always carry the torch for civil and human rights. And we had that conversation shortly before his passing. He was a inspiration to me to keep on keeping on. So I am a national board member for the National Movement of Civil and Human Rights. It's based out of Rockville, Maryland. Reverend Matthews was a past president of that organization as well. And we served on the board at the same time. But I want to say locally, have some things that I like to bring to people's attention this morning. Certainly, they need to tune in to your show. And I think people have been looking at the local news this week. In the Clarity case, one of the young men that was serving a life sentence for taking the life of the young man who was a star football player.
Right.
He never got a chance to play for Kennesaw University, but my heart goes out to his family because it's hard when someone kill your child and then because of a technicality, that person go free.
Yeah.
And then that's my prayers is with the family that God would grant them comfort and peace. So I don't want to go into all the details about that, but I think that law enforcement is in error because they knew what it would take to get what we call a sound conviction in that case. Want to mention the prep breakfast, the MLK celebration. Please, I'm reaching out to those people on the MLK commemorative committee to get in touch with your station and get the information to the people about the prep breakfast. And I understand Mike Keenan is still in charge of the parade. So again, Hill would give that information. That is not being done right now, and people need to know. And I ask people, whatever the price of the prep breakfast is, I don't know if it's $20, $15. Let's support a legacy of the good work that Dr. King did by attending the prep breakfast. It used to be at the Methodist Church on Wright Street, right in Palafox, and then it was at Greater Little Rock last year. And I can't tell you how wonderful, how welcome that people felt. And it was just professional, Vernon. I can tell you, I was very impressed with Greater Little Rock in welcoming people to the prep breakfast. And I'm hoping people get involved this year as well. Every church ought to support the prep breakfast. I might make some pastors mad about that, but hey, so be it. As long as you're telling the truth, that's what's important. So the prep breakfast, the parade, and then I want to mention the demolition of Baptist Hospital. I hope this 17 million or whatever millions they have allocated for the demolition, that they hire some black subcontractors here locally so they can be involved in the removal of what we was known for many some of the subcontract work do not go out to any black person that has that type of business. So I hope the people listening to you this morning are licensed, that they can apply for this. I hope the mayor would encourage the general contractor to give some work to local black businesses, because people think that we still have to beg to be a part of this United States system that is in place. And that should be the case, but that's why you need civil rights groups to be active and not be afraid to engage city, county, state, or federal, or law enforcement, or whoever, that we are taxpaying citizens. We are not going anywhere. We need to be treated with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
So that's the fight we're going to continue to carry. And as I said, some people don't want to hear my saying this, but that's fine with me because I'm going to keep saying it anyway. Let's talk about over the last 10 years, Vernon, and mothers against pain is the name of the group. And these mothers have been constantly telling the community about black on black crime, that it should have stopped 10 years ago, but you still have, for one ungodly reason, black people killing each other. Just imagine this, Vernon. You grow up with a person. You go to school together. You have mutual friends, and for some reason, you take a gun and kill them. And I want the listening audience to understand, the mothers who have lost children, and I have formed a partnership. We have been begging the community for over 10 years, 12 years now, stop killing each other.
Yep.
Because we know law enforcement, when you don't do what they say, comply, we know they're going to shoot you. That's a given. If you don't comply, I just had a call last week where the county deputies responded to a situation. They were told that this young man had a gun. They drew their weapons on him. Thank God nobody lost control and fired their weapon. But we need to understand, and I'm making a plea to the young people of our community. If you pulled over, do not try to outrun them or whatever. Just comply. Have your day in court. It might not be as bad as you think it's going to be. But when you give them a window of opportunity to use force, they're going to do it because they know the law is on their side. And so we must be vigilant with our young people. I want to make a plea to them. If you do not know your voting status, please, ma'am, please, sir, if you live in these United States, you need to vote. Don't tell me it doesn't matter, you don't have time, or any of that foolishness. You need to vote, because when you don't, you get what you got in Washington, D.C., a buffoon who think he is a dictator, and he made the comments 3 weeks ago, he can do anything he wants. Look at what's going on in Venezuela now. They don't know what in the hell is on them boats, but they just blowing them out of the water. And they're on international waters. So we must engage in the voting process.
Yep.
And then the next thing I like to talk about, Vernon, is healthcare. I have people calling me every day, senior citizens saying they got a notice at the the end of December.
Right.
Just imagine this. One lady was paying $2.75 copay.
Right.
Listen, $2.75. Her copay now would be $52 per doctor visit. So that tells you her premium for the year is going to be much higher. It's shameful that the Republicans in the Senate do not extend the subsidies for another 3 years to give these senior citizens time to make an adjustment in their budget. So now it's getting right back to the old thing where you're going to have to make a decision. Either you're going to buy groceries or you're going to have to pay to see a doctor. And if you're on a fixed income, you're on a limited budget anyway. So whatever the federal government can do, instead of building a multi-million-dollar ballroom in Washington, D.C., take care of the citizens of this city. And there's some people of the mindset thing, only black people get SNAP and food stamps. Well, in rural Georgia Idaho, Oklahoma, South Dakota, West Virginia, you got poor white folks also.
Yep.
And they're depending on the subsidies from federal government. So I sympathize with anybody that's got to have a 300% increase in their copay when they need to go to the doctor. Vernon, it is shameful. We live, if not the richest, one of the richest countries on the face of the earth. And we need to do better by the citizens. When I say we, the governing bodies of this United States, about their people that need that subsidy. So I know they reached some agreement. Now here's what the Republicans have said within the last 24 hours. Well, we agreed to talk about it during the month of December. They didn't agree
to do anything about it. Just talk about
it. Yeah. And you've been talking about it ever since President Obama was in office.
Yeah.
And you want to dismantle, they call it Obamacare, but it's health care, that's the proper name.
Right.
But now they want to continue, well, let's talk about it. No, that's why I say it is important for people to vote. Don't be under the belief that these elected officials don't do the right thing.
Yeah. Ellison, our time's about up, Ellison. I appreciate the Ellison report, the Bennett report.
Yes, sir. And hey, Vern, I can't tell you how special it is you doing what you're doing, and may God bless you and your family. I know we'll talk again before Christmas, but I can't thank you enough because I know how important it is what you're doing for the community.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
All right, y'all. This is Ellison Bennett. He with the Bennett report. He's on every Wednesday about 7:30 every Wednesday, y'all, with the Bennett report, so you can see what's going on in your community. I thank you, Ellison, for his time and everything. I gotta take a commercial break here in just a second, y'all. But when we come back from the commercial break, I want to come back from the commercial break. I also want to do a little Black History before I bring Charles Thornton on. We got Charles coming on at 8 o'clock. And we're going to have a lot of other stuff we got to get to. I got to get to the community news. I got to get to the other stuff so you can know what's going on in the community. So, all right, folks, we'll be right back. Tell everybody that Vernon's on this morning. So go get your coffee. Y'all share with it. Get it on YouTube. Tell everybody we out here. We passing the word on. Help your old folks that used to getting radio. We're going to talk about how you can get the television station or the radio station so you can see what's going on. We'll be right back.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Hey, Escambia. Today, we're talking trash, specifically bulk waste.
Starting July 1st, 2023, bulk waste service will be called for pickup. You can schedule a pickup by calling the ECUA Customer Service Department anytime before 2 p.m. on the day prior to your normal pickup day. Bulk pickup is still included at no additional charge.
Check out ecua.fl.gov for more information.
Know what to throw, 850.
From affordable home equity lines and home loans to high-yield checking that pays 5.05% APY, PenAir combines innovative banking with a commitment to our community. PenAir Credit Union. Join us.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ford. I'm the owner of FD Builds. Energy efficiency is very important in today's market. With higher interest rates and rising costs, it's important that home buyers maintain their bottom line of affordability. The nice thing about natural gas and natural gas appliances is that it's more energy efficient than their electrical counterparts, and at the end of the day, the utility bills are lower. Our relationship with the Pensacola Energy team is phenomenal. From customer service to their field teams, it's just a seamless process. We love Pensacola Energy.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
In 1872, a young man set out on foot on a 500-mile journey across the state of Virginia. His name was Booker T. Washington, and he was heading for the Hampton Institute, a school that had been founded for the training of the freedmen and the freedwomen following the Civil War. Little did he know that he would become that school's most famous graduate.
He takes both agricultural courses as well as academic courses. He excels at both, but he's most taken by the philosophy that African Americans should try to build economic power through industrial education.
Booker T. Washington becomes the principal and leader of Tuskegee Institute in Tuskegee, Alabama, a school for African Americans, and creates it into something that no one ever saw before.
Under his direction, Tuskegee became one of the leading institutions of higher learning for African Americans in the country. His success brought him a great deal of national attention and launched him onto the lecture circuit. In 1895, he delivered his most famous and most controversial address. It became known as the Atlanta Compromise. The speech was artfully crafted to impress his largely white and extremely conservative audience. In the speech, Washington urged African Americans to focus on long-term economic development rather than continue to agitate for their civil and political rights.
He thought that it was best for African Americans to gain an industrial education and ideally translate that into land ownership, business ownership, and build up institutions of their own.
In a way, Booker T is saying we have to remember that our well-being relies on the goodwill of white people. And the best way to ensure our future is to make ourselves useful to white people rather than agitating for a partnership they clearly are not ready to give to us.
To his most searching critics, Washington was leading African Americans backwards towards slavery. But some of his behind-the-scenes efforts reveal a more complex picture.
At the same time as his public-facing politics were accommodationist, he's also funding anti-discrimination lawsuits challenging Jim Crow segregation. So he understood the problems of segregation. He was trying to find a way for the masses to survive and endure until the context changed.
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. You got Vernon this morning. Hope you have your coffee and you're ready to get a beautiful day out today. I want to talk about some of the things that's happening, is going to be in the community, what I call community news this morning, okay? First of all, I do want to acknowledge the fact that our dear brother Robert Laster, most folks don't know who that is, but that Star Child, DJ Star Child, will be on, it's today, I believe today's Wednesday, His body is for viewing at the Joe Morris Funeral Home from 1 to 7 tonight. Okay, from 1 to today, this afternoon, from 1 to 7. If you want to go down there and view for the viewing. On tomorrow at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. He is going to be internalized, funeralized, and homegoing services at the. I believe it's going to be at the New Birth Baptist Church, with Reverend Wayne Peacock is the pastor there. Okay, so now what we plan to do, if you cannot attend the services, WBQP TV will live stream it on YouTube and Facebook, and we're gonna try to attempt to also carry it live on the television station. A little bit more complicated to get it live on television, but I think we could be able to do it. So you stay tuned for channel 12 tomorrow by 11 a.m. if you're sitting by your television set to look at this, or you can pull it up on the internet, or you can pull it up on your phone. It's going to be on the phone as well, or you can go to YouTube or any of the social medias outlet, YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that. However you view WBQP, you should be able to get it. And if that doesn't work for you, we also will be able to play it back a little later on. Okay, we'll play it back a little later on during the month. Okay, during the month and during the week, so that for the folks can see our friend DJ Starchild. He's a well-known figure in this town, and so I think that we all should get an opportunity to see that. Okay. All right. The other thing here I want to pass on is that the Eddie Snell production is presenting this 10th annual Gospel Soul Bowl on January the 4th. So if you need to go ahead and get your tickets now, the tickets are $35 at the door, but they're $30 in advance. Okay, they're $30 in advance. If you got children under 12, they are admitted free. The door's going to open at 4 o'clock. The concert going to start promptly on time at 5 o'clock. If you want your tickets, you need to go to the Goodfellows Barbershop, or go to the Original King's Barbershop, or go to Grease and Go food vendors. And if you want more information, and I think I'll be at the First Baptist Church of Warrenton at 105 Gulf Beach Highway with the great Dr. James Miller as pastor. But if you want more information about that concert, then you need to call 850-525-7188. Okay, now I repeat the number again, is 850-525-7188. All right. The other event you probably going to need to put on your repertoire is the Lynx is having a sickle cell. Okay, the Lynx is having a sickle cell event supporting. They are supporting the Sickle Cell Foundation, led here in Pensacola by Walter Wallace. Okay, by Walter Wallace. I want to fill up the screen so you can see this. Okay, you're going to be at the Bethel AME Church at 511 Woodland Drive. It's going to be this Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. We're going to go from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the 13th. It's free, though it is open to the public, so you want to go to that program because it is in support of sickle cell awareness and wellness, and it is sponsored by Link, by the what I call it, the Lynx. Okay, sponsored by them. So you might want to check yourself out there. Okay. The other event is coming up here is your congressman, your senator, your Michelle Salisbury, your state representative. We're going to have what she called a constituency Christmas. Okay, a constituency Christmas event. All right, so you may want to check that out as well. Okay, check that out, and because I know part of that's a part of your constituency is her area, so you want. I believe it's going to be on December the 11th, 2025, from 4 to 6 p.m. at Bubba's. And that's on Highway, on Davis Highway, 701 North Davis Highway. It's called a constituency Christmas. So you want to get there, okay? You want to make sure you do that and be there. Also, coming up is the MLK parade. Okay, the MLK parade. So you might want to make sure that you get registered for the MLK parade real soon. Okay, this is the 37th annual MLK parade. We're going to have on tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow Thursday, I believe it is, hopefully we're going to have a representative on talking about the parade again, but we're going to talk about it from the vendor's point of view. If you are a food truck or whatever, if you want to make a lot of money, you can register to be a vendor at the MLK parade. They're accepting applications for vendors and also accepting applications for your entry into the parade. Okay, parade is going to be on Monday, January the 19th, 2026, starting at 11 a.m. downtown Pensacola. WBQP will be there covering it live. With my new host this year is Linda Sunshine Moore. Okay, Linda and myself and Jim Roberts we are planning to host the annual 37th MLK parade. Linda Sunshine Moore, y'all, Miss Sunshine, she was last year's Grand Marshal. She was last year's Grand Marshal for the MLK parade. This year, Grand Marshal is Lumen May. Okay, this year Grand Marshal is Lumen May. Okay, and they got the theme this year. The theme this year is Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Okay, Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Okay, we're Unity, we won't turn back. Also, one other thing I want to talk about before I go to Charles Thorner. Hopefully, I can get a hold of Charles this morning. One thing I want to talk about is the Democratic Party. The Democratic Caucus, they are seeking memberships. Okay, membership in the Democratic Caucus. So you got various degrees of it range anywhere from $25 or $30 on up and so forth. We're going to be talking to Derek Scott tomorrow about that, as well as some other things that's sitting on the what they call it. I call it dock of the bay. And everything. So hopefully that we will be having a great informational conversation about that. Okay. Also, one other thing I need to mention to you, the Naval Air Station out there, Naval Air Station Pensacola, is having what they call their Tree City USA down there. So you want to do that. And as well as since it's Christmas time, they are going to have a lot of Christmas displays. You can go down to see the Christmas lights all around town, and also even out of town. Bruton always have a good Christmas show. You just go to different locations and different places like that. And the last thing before I go to a commercial break is the last thing I want to tell you about is that again the parades. I don't want to. We got 3 MLK parades that's going on. Well, actually 4 events that's going on in our area. We got on Monday, on the 19th, the Milton MLK parade is going to be going on. They have the parade as well as an event after parade that you might want to get started at around noontime. But at 11 a.m. we're going to have the Pensacola parade, okay, which lasts about 3 hours. And then we move from the Pensacola parade up to Cantonment, so we can have the Cantonment parade as well. All right, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm going to go to a commercial break, and hopefully when I come back, I will be talking to Mr. Charles D. Thornton.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
From affordable home equity lines and home loans to high-yield checking that pays 5.05% APY, Penn Air combines innovative banking with a commitment to our community. Penn Air Credit Union. Join us.
Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000. Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
ENS prediction, the 11th. It's time for the annual Gospel Soul Bowl. Gospel Soul. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Live at the Greater Pine Baptist Church, 130 North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida, where Isaac Williams is pastor. The 11th year of the Gospel Soul Bowl. And it's going to be live. Performing live, it's Pastor James McGee of the Humble Spirit. Dion Bell and the Brothers. And the Pastor Singer. Memphis, Tennessee's on the Brown Floor. The Wings of Faith, Divine Harmony, Saturday, January 3rd. The doors open at 3:30 p.m. The concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Greater True Vine Baptist Church in Pensacola. The scripture will be given to you by Minister Hubert Kim. A prayer brought to you by Minister Michael D. Get ready for a solo by Michael Jackson. Your MC, Eddie Snell, sir. Hosted by the Spiritual Persuader. Yes, those tickets now. Advance ticket donation $30, $35 the day of the show. Get them at Goodfellas Barbershop. The original King's Barbershop. Reason Go Food Vendor. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. The Gospel Soul Bowl. For more information, contact Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188.
Frederick Douglass. When you hear that name, many of us think of the former slave who played such a pivotal role in the abolition of slavery. While widely known as one of the greatest public speakers of his time, not many of us know that Douglass was also the most photographed American in the entire 19th century.
Born in 1818, Douglass escaped from slavery in 1838. He became a paid traveling lecturer for the abolitionist movement in 1841.
Photography came to this country in 1839, 1840. Black photographers and white photographers opened up studios, and so it became the medium of choice because it was accessible for people.
For the first time ever, the poor servant girl could now have a portrait of herself that surpassed what the most powerful king or queen could have had 10 years ago.
Douglass saw photography as a way to reclaim the image of black people, long viciously caricatured in racist stereotypes.
If a camera accurately photographed black or white, a man or a woman, it captured the equal and essential humanity of that man or woman.
His lectures would take him to every corner of the North and even across the Atlantic to Great Britain, and he made sure that he was photographed wherever he went.
Frederick Douglass is a master at understanding the media revolution, and specifically photography.
Douglass combined his speaking voice with the impact of the wide distribution of his image, enabling him to demonstrate that enslaved black people were human beings.
That image, that stunning, virile African American, that black man, that former slave, became a ubiquitous image.
In today's terms, Frederick Douglass was a gifted social media influencer. By the time he died in 1895, Frederick Douglass had been photographed more than Presidents Abraham Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant. He had also published 3 widely reviewed autobiographies, each of which is still read and taught today.
All right, good morning, y'all. That was Black History in 2 minutes. That's where you will hear it and see it right here on WBQP TV radio, y'all. Yes, sir. It's 8 o'clock. I got a special guest that is going to be my weekly guest, and it's Mr. Charles D. Thornton. And I want to name this segment the other side, but Charles is the executive CEO of the Thornton Review. Thornton Review has been around for a long time now, and so it's a conservative. It's a left. I'll have him explain it to you. But if you hadn't seen the Thornton Review, it airs here on this station every week on Sundays. Okay, sometime at 5 o'clock. At 5 p.m. and also about 11 p.m. on Sundays, and sometime throughout the week. So you have to watch us to catch it. But Charles is the CEO of that. He's also the vice chairman of the Executive County Republican Committee, but he's not here in that capacity. He's here as his capacity as CEO of the Thornton Review. And I want to bring my good friend on. I've been knowing Charles for a long time.
Good morning, Mr. Vernon. How you doing this morning? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Charles. I want to welcome you to the New Vernon Morning Show.
Vernon, I want you to know that I appreciate you. I've watched you. I've followed you for a long time, and I like your stick-to-itivism in the media industry. You are a pioneer in TV and radio. Charles D. Thornton, you say the Thornton Review Show. Yeah, it's a podcast, sort of right of center podcast. It's a right of center podcast, and for those who in the politics, you kind of know what it is. It's not a right of center, and just Google right of center in politics, you'll have a better understanding. Because I just know that I am a Republican, and I chair a leadership role in the Escambia County Republican Executive Committee and the local party here. something that I'm very proud of and something that I work for. So I said I can think of a lot of places I could be this morning, such as in my bed, my recliner, on the front porch drinking coffee. But I can think of no other place that I'd rather be than right here with you.
Yeah. Charles, you have been doing the Thornton Review for a long time. When did you start? How long ago did you start the Thornton Review?
I started around 2013, 2014, around somewhere around up in there. 2013. I probably was one of before everybody else started streaming. I was streaming. I had Alex Gavin with me, and I've been through some producers since then. But I started around 2013, 2014, somewhere up in there. It was the only show in town at that time.
Okay.
In my living room.
Doing in your living room, like I started in my garage. Charles, one of the things you done a lot of things in life. We met Charles and I go way back. I met Charles when he was a pup. Okay, and in fact, I when Charles got out of the Marine Corps and he wanted to get into he started light. He started being a leatherneck and he wanted to aim high, and he decided he wanted to go into the Air Force. And I swore Charles into that. That's how I met Charles. I swore him in and into the United States Air Force Reserve, 40 years ago. I don't know, it's been a long time ago that I swore Charles in. And we have been friends ever since. He worked for me at NAS Pensacola. We went through a lot of things. We went through a lot of things together. But one of the traits that I know about Charles, and one of the things I tell Charles, one of his strongest suits is he's a good political pundit, and he's also a preacher, a closet preacher. Okay, but he don't want to accept that responsibility. He's still in the closet on that. But Charles, but anyway, because he's a political pundit, we have been on the same side and opposite sides and things of politics. Now, Charles, and now. Charles, you're a Republican, am I correct?
I am, Vernon. I am.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm a Democrat. So we got opposite sides of political perspective. And this one of the good things I want to say about this, okay? Regardless, lately the politics is being so politickish like it never been before. Sometimes we can't even talk to one another, because if you're a Republican, I'm not going to talk to you. Because you're a Democrat, I'm not going to talk to you. That's not the case here, particularly in Escambia County. We talk to each other, and I don't understand most of the policies of the Republican Party. You know, Charles, and I told you this before. I think Republicans are just batshit crazy. Okay. But there got to be a reason. But there got to be a reason why they think the way they think. And sometimes, being a Democrat, sometimes we don't take the opportunity to hear the other side. And I said, well, I can sit down and Charles. We have had conversations over the years, even though we always agree to disagree. But at least he explained to me sometimes about why the Republicans do the things they do sometimes, okay? But Charles, with the things going on now, I want to turn it over to you. Let's hear it from the other side, if you will, okay? From the Republican point of view on issues that obviously affecting people that look like me and you, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna put it up front. I became a Republican during the time of I was inspired by Ronald Reagan, so doing Reagan, but I did vote for Barack Obama. Then I came back home, but I'm a Reagan.
You came.
Power.
Hey Charles, what you did? Wait a minute. What are you saying? When you were a Republican before Barack?
Yeah, I was a Republican.
And then you
I'm a Ronald Reagan.
You're a Ronald Reagan Republican. Okay, yeah, back in the 80s when it wasn't even popular. You're right. I remember that. Okay. So,
Yeah,
but you
well,
came
I was
home,
thinking.
but you came back home with Barack ran, huh?
Well, I came back home because the pride was instilled in me. I was in Germany at the time, and I didn't think I was going. I didn't get no hits on it, so I came home for Barack, and also a Colin Powell type Republican, and I
Yeah.
have gave seminars on Clarence Thomas because he's one of the most misunderstood Republicans out there, and during my time, I have done.
Oh
That's
Lord, Charles,
uh,
don't
uh,
don't bring him up right
it,
now. We'll hold Uncle Thomas. We'll hold him for another conversation. But I do want
well,
I do want to say this though. Okay, and just like you said, even though you're a Republican, you voted for Barack Obama. And the same
two
thing. I
times.
think we all do that. I think we all do that. I do the same thing. I never voted for a Republican president as I can remember. But what I have done on the local issues, on the local scene, I always support the Republican candidate. You know, Chip. I voted for Chip. I voted for Mike Kohler, and I'm proud to vote for Mike. Mike is a great man, and so we voted for Republicans that I think will serve our interests. So, but I'm gonna turn it back over to you as you were saying now.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna just give you an analogy. There used to be a magazine now called the Emerge magazine a while back, long time back before Internet. We had a magazine, and they had a situation in there. And this is my analogy. No, it doesn't mean it's a truism, but the difference, what we look at, a difference between a Republican and a Democrat. What a Republican would do, say someone is out there drowning, a Democrat would throw you a life thing, survival life jacket, a life thing you grab hold to and pull you out of the water. And when you grab it, it's not tied onto nothing. You're probably going to drown anyway because they throwed it to you, put it right in your hand, but it's not attached to anything. What a Republican would do, they would throw you that same life preserver, life thing, and you may have to. They won't put it right in your hand. You're probably going to have to kick a foot or two to get to it and grab it. But after you put a little energy and effort into it, and you grab it, they'll be able to pull you on out of the water. So you'll be able to save yourself. I don't know whether that makes any sense or not. It's we're more interested in self-development. And I remember one time I gave a speech at the Apollo Club one night, and this was where we was talking about, and it was during Martin Luther King month, and my speech was based on the fact that when Martin Luther King went through all the things that he went through and the things that he fought for, and we're very proud of that, and we love him dearly. What he done, he instead of his struggle was he wanted segregation, but he didn't really. But at the same time, when he got shot, his whole struggle at that time was for economics. I think what we need now, more than anything, as a Black Republican and everything, even back then, 20 some years ago, is that it's the economics. It's the economic piece. And that's what the Republican Party, in my view, is trying to deal with. Not on the surface, we can deal with all the social issues, the racial issues, this, that, and the other. But I think my main focus has always been economics, not just giving a person a hand out, not just giving you a grant, not just nothing wrong with grants, not just giving you just enough when you go to develop something. I think what we need, if I look around, I look at all the businesses in this town, and I see a few African American businesses that are doing real good. We need, in order to create the legacy, we need society, we need the government, we need entrepreneurs, we need folks to give us enough money. It takes about 5 years to get a real good business going. And if a person just give you seed money and start up money, then most of the time your business is not going to be successful, because once you start that business up, you got to deal with advertising, marketing, you got to deal with seasonal things and stuff like that. So I think you need at least enough money for about 5 years, and the government, they don't want to invest. The government, not just the government, but individuals, local and national, what they give us just enough so we can fail. They give us just enough so we can continuously come back and ask for more. And my thing is, give me enough and give me the tools and give me the resources that you give to everybody else. And that way we can create our own business, create our own legacy. Back before integration, we call it, before the civil rights movement, we were thriving in a lot of ways. I'm thankful that we fought and we marched, I participated in that to get to the segregation piece. But once we got there, we forgot about the economic piece. And if you look at history, all you do is you just do the history on W.B. Du Bois, the academic, and Booker T. Washington. It was sort of like that back then, and they took Booker T out early. For some reason, Booker T left us early. I won't get into the conspiracy thing, but W.B. Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois was education. Booker T was like, my people need jobs. My people need that. We just don't need jobs. We need economic development within our own community. And once we get that, we need to learn how to pool. We can pool all this stuff together.
Well, hey, Charles, let me interrupt you for a minute, okay? I hear you. You know, y'all talk about that, and you talk about throwing that lifeline and so forth, but I don't see the Republican Party, when you might be right about your analogy about when they throw you that lifeline, you might have to swim a little bit. Might have to swim a little bit to go get to that lifeline. But when you're in there drowning, how are you going to swim if you're drowning? But the problem I see with that is that I hear a good game, talking a good game, but I don't see the action behind it. You know, we're talking about you're talking about economics and affordability. Look where we are now today, though. How do you square that up with what we're going on? They say one thing, but it's actually something else. You know, the party. One thing I have to give you credit for, that I give the Republican credit for. Y'all are good messengers. Y'all sing from the same sheet of music. I love that. These damn Democrats get on my damn nerve for not fighting back and not doing anything. But then they're so splintered. You know, we splintered. But Republicans, everybody. How do y'all do that? Number one, Charles, I need to understand that. How do y'all do that? What's that boy name in the White House? Trump. Trump can say something. Well, maybe he truth it out, and then everybody takes that song. They would take that same sheet of music, and everybody sang that same tune, and it sounds so consistent, sounds so good. But I don't see any backbone behind it, Charles. Help me understand. Help me understand that.
We have common.
Let's talk about the affordability issue first, okay? You know, you got Trump out there right now on a lying tour, what I call it, okay? That trying to say everything is great, everything is great, everything is great. He gave himself yesterday an A++ on the economy. And when the economy, when the economy and food prices and stuff is just totally opposite of that. Help me understand that. That's what I don't understand about.
You may not agree. I want to say you or your audience may not agree with some of the things I say, but that's fine. Like
we said, we can agree to disagree. That's no problem.
Yeah, we're going to agree to disagree.
But I want to understand the theory behind it.
We inherited. I've been in office for about a year. Talking about Trump, the Republican.
Now, remember, Charles. Remember, hold on for a second. I'm going to cut you off for a second, but I'm going to let you talk, I promise. But I just want to remind you that your president said he's going to do this on day one. Okay, I don't know how many days we've been here so far, but it's almost a year. But continue.
Okay, he didn't do it on day one. Can we move past that? That he said that, and when he got in, it was a little bit worse than we figured it was going to be. But what I can say to the American people is that if you just hold on, give this president time. This particular situation didn't happen overnight. It was 4 years of the Biden administration let millions undocumented illegals coming into the country. That money has to take care of these folks has to come from somewhere. And I know we have some illegals, undocumented folks working, fixing our roof and doing our lawn and this and that. That's all fine. You say they're contributing, but it's true. When we open that border up, all of this happened up under Joe Biden. We had a couple of wars that started under Joe Biden. The war in the Middle East, the war with Ukraine and Russia, we had wars all over. That kind of drained the budget. We also had gasoline prices and this. All of this started under Biden. And the only thing that we're saying is that give us an opportunity. I know you can't see it because it's politics. Because politics is blinded.
Politics, Charles. Politics. It ain't politics.
And by this time next year, even say with first quarter, say between March and April, something of next year, you'll see some of the things that this president has been doing to help the American economy out. Now, when I want to speak to more of a race issue type thing, we as African American Black folks, what we have done most of the time, we put all our eggs based on past history in one basket. That's the Democratic basket. But yet and still, we always want to know what the Republicans are going to do for us. And I guess you should, because you go to the basket where you put your eggs and you say to them, we've been giving you our vote for years. And yet you still, when you're in power, what do you do? What have you done? What have you done?
Can I ask you this? Okay. Now you must agree. Now, would you agree with this? Okay, that let's take black folks. Let's bring it home for a minute. Okay. Would you agree with me?
I'm a black man.
Would you agree with me that more black people than before voted for Trump? Right. More and more.
I agree.
Right. More and more. Okay. Now, tell me what policies that Trump has done to help black folks since he's been in office. Help, even if you even want to help the 80%, the 20% that voted for him. What is he doing? What is he doing right now to help black folks?
To single out a racial minority, to single out what he's doing. He's trying to fix the economy. And once he fixed this economy, it's not just, it's going to help all of them.
What is he doing? Because what is he doing to fix the economy?
I guess, what have we done to help ourselves? And he's fixing it. He's helping us by helping the economy, by fixing the economy. And not just, you have a thing where you have people a lot of people have the ability to work, to get a job, to do this, to do that. But yet and still, they won't do it. And what they'll do, and they expect the government to take care of them. That right there. First thing we do, what have we done to help ourselves? And black folks, really, if they come together, I call them African American, but black folks, really, we come together, we can put pressure not just on Trump, but on the Democrats and the Republicans. Most Democrats, I see folks with the Democratic Party and all, they come in, they march, they rah, they complain, then they go back to to Mortgage Hill and Credit Card Village. They don't come out here where I live. They don't come out here where a lot of us live. They come and they sympathize and empathize with us. What have the Democrats done to help black folks? And Trump, some people did vote for Trump. Trump has only been in office 1 year. And I say to anybody, Trump did not put us here. And we had a situation with COVID and Biden.
Charles, stop right there now. Stop right there. Okay. Now, you do know that we did have 4 years of Trump administration before Biden even got in there, right? And you do know that the pandemic was under Trump watch. And you do know that even at 4 years that Trump was in, it didn't benefit black folks or anybody as much. Okay, so Biden came in and tried to do whatever he can with it. I understand, because you're Republican, you're singing from that same sheet of music that everybody else is singing from, but I don't think it's, in reality, I don't think it holds a lot of water, because we're all suffering out here, black folks and white folks. I think I think even Trump's own constituencies, the mega folks, also suffering as well as black folks suffering, because they're not getting what they were promised, Charles. And I know you're not going to agree with that. We got to disagree. We have to agree to disagree on that point, okay? But I do think that I can only feel for myself. I know that. I since I've been retired, Charles, I go to the grocery store more than I ever went in my whole life. So I do a lot of grocery shopping now. And when I look at a pack of grapes that's $9, and there was $3 and $4 under Biden administration, I can't, and I think some of the policies that some of the policies that Troy, I know Troy is calling me because of some technical issues, but I know some policies that he's implemented probably exacerbated, even though the Biden administration probably contributed to that. We're all going to give everybody some fault here, okay? Maybe he didn't have some perfect policies here, but you can't blame everything on the immigrants and that kind of stuff. We got a lot of stuff that, the bread and butter issues that real people care about, okay? But go ahead. And
when you say you can't blame everything, but
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff to blame, but you have to put the blame there. When that border opened up and all of these people came,
how did that border? How did that impact anything, Charles?
Because
help me understand that.
Because money has to be redirected, and those are human beings coming over here, and we're going to have to. And what you done under that administration, you put a lot of money. We spent a lot of money. We took money from SNAP. We took money from the military. We took money from a lot of different programs we had.
Well, why?
To take care of these folks, to take care of these particular people. Another thing is that the president is working on something. We're not giving them an opportunity. Beginning next year, beginning next year, you'll be able to see it. And I hope nobody's just at home who's not working or who has the ability to get out and do something, not just waiting on the government to give them something. If you you need to come together and challenge the government. First thing you need to do, ask the Democratic Party, and we're just talking here. Why are you not giving us enough? Or why are you just giving us just enough that we could come back to you every month or every 6 months to be recertified or this or that? What our people need is jobs. What our people need is economic development. Even when you feed a person for a day, the next day, that's 365 days in the year. So we get excited.
So what are the policies that the Republicans are sending forth to help that situation? I don't see any concrete policy. I want to give you a case in point, Charles. Okay, let's take the. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that the affordability of the subsidies affect a lot of people in this country, right? Black folks and white folks, which are going to expire. What are they doing? I'm just using that as one example, but there are many other examples. So what are the Republican Party, if Biden broke this country so bad, okay, it's so bad, what are the policies that the Republicans are doing to fix it? I just don't see those policies. Seem like to me they're making it worse than fixing it. So help me understand, by making it worse, gonna help it better.
Because without naming anything, what we're doing, we're trying to get a balanced budget, come up with some excess money so you can actually hand out to the people. We're trying to gasoline prices, and in one place I read $1.99, except for California, Illinois, and New York, and all those places.
All the blue states,
that are ran by Democrats. Gasoline prices are coming down. Food prices, we inherited egg prices.
Where are the food prices coming down at,
but because of politics.
Charles.
Of politics. Go ahead.
Charles. Okay. Give me an example in this country where food prices is coming down. I was looking at I read something just last night, and I wrote it down too. You know, something that I do drink every day is coffee, right? Every day. Okay. Yeah. Now, coffee is up 40% since January. Okay? 40%. So what I don't see, I hear the rhetoric. Okay? I see the sheet of music y'all singing from. But I don't see the action. When is the action coming? Is what I want to know.
Well, here's the thing. In most situations, there's the cause, and then there's the effect.
Right.
And the effect is high prices. The cause are high prices. Whether you like it or not, the Biden administration. And what we're trying to do, you got to go in, identify the problem, then you got to come up with a solution. But when you come up with your solution, you got to get buy-in. You got to get there are stakeholders. There are a whole lot of people when you're dealing with government. And this president right now is working on. I'm not going to identify a single thing, because if I do, I'm going to ask you to tell us what did Biden do to get us into this situation. You live through that whole thing.
But I hear that argument all the time, Charles. I hear that argument all the time about what the Democrats doing. The Democrats are not in power. The Republicans got the White House, the Senate, the Congress, and the Supreme Court. So they got a super majority of the power. So what in the hell can the Democrat do? Now we already blame. We accept the blame, whether we like it or not. We accept the blame that the Republican claim that Biden have done. Okay, I agree that. Okay, whether I agree with it or not, are y'all saying that Biden broke the system? Okay, you ran on an issue that I'm going to fix the broken Biden system. You have 1 year into it already, and it seems to me that you're making the Biden system worse. If that was the case,
we're not doing that. A lot of people are shopping. If you look at the data, we have a lot of things. You just had the Democratic shutdown, 40-some days. In order to get past a bill or do certain things, it takes 60 votes. In the Senate, it takes about 60 votes. We have a slim majority in the House. So what we done, we got there, and we was able to get about 2 or 3, maybe 4 Democrats to work with us to try to shut the government down. But what the Democrats done, they did not support us on that. They came up with something on the Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, which we said, okay, let's get the government back to work. Then
and we'll talk about it.
We can work and we'll talk about it.
Exactly what the problem is. Y'all just all talk. No action, Charles.
but you want to blame the Republicans. The key thing should have been is get the government back, and we're probably going to have that same thing at the end of this month. We may have a shutdown at the end of this month. We can come up with something, because we as you ask us to do things that's against what we believe in. We're trying to help the country as a whole.
Y'all against believing in helping poor folks?
We're not targeting a group. There are things that we're doing, and I don't know. I'm not privy. I could research that. Some of the things that you asked me, once I get off here, I'll go and look. But I'm sure there are programs out there that we have in place that's going to help them more. But you're asking me something off the cuff, and
yeah.
You know,
I don't mean to try to put you in a spot or trying to get in the moment.
No,
I'm just trying to understand, Charles. I don't, and that's the reason that because I know we friends, we can talk. We can talk generally. I just trying to understand with the batshit policies. That's my opinion. I know you'll agree with that. But the batshit policies that the Trump administration got, I'm trying to understand the logic to it, how it's going to help. It appears to me their policies are hurting more than they're helping. And maybe, see, Charles, when you was young, when you had a cold back then, we used to have some medicine called 366, 666. You ever, you know what I'm talking about? And you were sick. You were sick. And my mother used to make us take this 366 of those nasty cough medicine. Okay, I'm just using an analogy. So I'm assuming that the Trump administration is 366, and they're making us take this nasty medicine, which feels so bad for right now. But 2 or 3 days later, you feel much better. Is that the strategy? Y'all got a 366 strategy?
No, if you give me an opportunity,
okay,
and you may not agree with me, but the thing is, from day one, when the president took office, everybody started blaming everything that has happened in the last 4 years. Now, he's a magic man. He can fix it. No one can fix it.
He said it. He said it himself he could do it. By himself.
So he said it. He was wrong when he said it. Because when he got in there, we came in with a slim majority. This is politics. Nothing happened in politics overnight. But at least he's working towards fixing it. And what the Democrats, they want power so bad, they want back in so bad that they're willing to do anything and say anything, and they don't want to give him credit for nothing. Some of the things I just said, and when you help the entire people, it lifts folks up. The folks are out there shopping now. Things are happening good right now. But I say to the Democrats, what you want to do, you got a midterm coming up. History says that the party that's in power sometimes loses seats. We're going to try to not let that happen. I told my people at our last meeting, I say, go home, enjoy the holidays with your family and everything. But when you come back in the beginning of the year, get ready to roll your sleeves up and hit the ground running. They know that. I let them know it's not either and what the Democrats going to have. What the Democrats going to have to do, and I think they are trying to do, is they're going to have to organize and get there. I'm not here giving them an advice. And if they want to get back in power and do nothing like they've done the last 4 years, then they're going to have to organize and do some things. They can't take the presidency, but if they want the House or they want the Senate, they're going to have to get out and roll their sleeves up and work for it. Then we can talk about what they're not doing. Right now, we don't have time for a whole lot of distraction and stuff of what we're not doing, because we're doing too much to help this country, and not just this country, but other countries. We got so many problems. We got problems dealing with crime. We have problems. We got economic problems. We're trying to fix this, and our peoples know. I have to tell Republicans all the time, you got to hang in and get it president time. You got, but it's going to see next year, you will be able to tell whether we've done anything or not. And that American people will make that decision. But we cannot focus. People can wake up and they can complain about Charles all day. But guess what I do? I tune it out because I'm focused on the things that I'm trying to do. And that's what they need to do. Because you taking somebody else, if I knock another man down, then the only thing I'm going to do is slow myself down because I got to spend all day down there with him to make sure he don't get up instead of trying to build something. So I say to the Democrats,
that sounds just like the Republican Party to me, Joe Charles. Go ahead.
What's that?
The analogy that you gave me about if you knock a man down, you have to spend your time to keep him from getting up. I said that sounds just like the Republican Party to me.
I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician, and I know just a tad about politics. I know just a little bit about politics. I'm not a political scholar. But I am the vice chair of the Assembly County Republican Executive.
Hey, Charles. One thing that stuck with me about the Republicans, and when I was talking to your chairman at the time, and it was interesting. You was in the office one day, and I give the Republican Party credit. They do what they when it was time for be elected. They did reach out to our community, and that's the reason that they got more support than they had before. So they came, unlike sometimes. Don't even get me on the Democratic thing, because I think I agree with you about they think that they don't have to do anything for us because they think they got us in hand. But one of the things that your chairman said out in office, you was back there talking to Robert Hill one day you and the chairman came in, and I was producing his 30-second spot for the TV and the radio. And one of the things he said,
Did we pay for that?
Yeah, you paid for it. You paid well for it. So exactly,
okay,
that's what I'm saying now. But one of the things I can give you credit for, y'all reached out. You reached out to the black community, and that's to the Republican credit. But one of the funny things that he said, and he said, we might have a lot of problems, but money ain't one of them. And then you came back to the office saying the same thing. Vernon, we might have a lot of problems, but money ain't one of them. So that's why y'all can money. My daddy said he don't know about the next world, but money runs this world. Okay, run this world. So, but at any rate, Charles, don't turn it back over to you for a second. So we're gonna have to wrap it up here. But I know, and you're gonna be on here every week. We got plenty of time to discuss all these subjects. So many things going on. And that's one thing about the Trump administration. It's never damn dull moment. He had 10,000 things going on at one time. And I think that might be the problem, Charles, because there's an old philosophy that says if you chase too many rabbits, you chase more than one rabbit, you're not going to catch any of them. And so I don't see any rabbits being caught so far. But we still got plenty of time. We will see it next year this time, Charles. I want you to mark your calendar just before. Hopefully I'm gonna still be on I'll be on the air. And hopefully you're gonna still be on the air with me. And so we're gonna have the same conversation about affordability and how much progress have we made in the Republican Party doing for, say, I'm just gonna use the black community since that's our constituency here. So what they doing for the black community and everything. But I'm gonna give you just the last few minutes here to kind of sum up what you need to sum up here, Charles, and then we got to get out of here, okay? And thank you for coming on, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna say I love my community. I grew up on a dirt road called Tarragona Street right here in Pensacola, and they paved it. But I still take my shoes off, go down on that dirt road and run my foot through the sand every now and then.
Hey,
that's
Charles,
why I came.
The Democratic Party paved that road for you. I want you to know that. Okay, but go
ahead. Okay. But I just want to say that we're going to continue to work that we are done. And the reason we can multitask, and that's what you're speaking to, is multitasking. You can do more than one thing at a time because we have different branches of government. We have folks in charge of Homeland Security, we got Secretary of Defense, we got OPM, we got all of these different folks that are doing things, and they report. But the president lays out the vision, and I want to say to the Black community in particular, and the American peoples, but the Black community in particular, African American community. Yeah, hold on. Let's do some self-development. I know it's hard right now, but when I was working, I always said that 10% to the Lord and 10% to invest in yourself. Make sure if we down to 10%, make sure we invest in ourselves, make sure we invest in our children, our family, and if not, then get something. So what we got to do, we got to create a legacy. And by doing that, we're going to have to figure out a way to start turning money over in our own community. We're going to have to challenge some of these folks and we're going to have to come together. If one don't have, we're going to have to learn how to pool our money together. I know right now, a lot of us don't trust each other, but at some point in time, you got to build trust within the community. But the party itself, look for a little something extra when you file your income taxes this year, because some of the laws that passed, those folks that are out there working, you should see a little some nice tax deduction. We're trying to bring prices down, and I pretty much know that by the summertime. I know everybody's against tariff, but we're using tariff as a tool, and whenever prices are raised, we're going to try to offset that in another way. And we have not forgotten this community, but we feel if we straighten this economy out, then it's going to help everybody. And then whenever it's time to laser in on a certain group of people, including African Americans, we want to be able to do that too. We want to be able to do that. We're trying, but we're staying focused. We're not ignoring anyone. And I'm sure some of you are blinded by politics, but there's a lot of positive things going on out there as for this economy. And we're going to get a new Fed pretty soon too. Yeah.
Okay, Charles, thank you. I appreciate you for coming on, because I want y'all to tune in every Wednesday for The Other Side with Charles D. Thornton. He's going to come in on at 8, and perhaps you can text in some questions that you may want Charles to answer or whatever. But we'll have to play it by ear. So I want you to take tune every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. With Charles D. Thornton, what I call The Other Side. And also check out, Charles has some great programming on his Thornton Review. He's interviewing a lot of local politicians and the local area. You need to check it out. The Thornton Review is a great program, very informational program. And Charles, thank you for what you do in that arena to keep folks informed on what's going on in our community. I believe this week you interviewing Bubba, isn't it Bubba?
We have Bubba, and we got another show coming up as well. But yeah, Bubba Peterson. You want to watch that because it's property season, property time. So you definitely want to do that. So who's coming up after Bubba, Charles? We have a guy named Dr. John Hines. He's a chemist, and he's talking about the election and what's wrong and what's right with it. We got Dr. John Hines. He's kind of like a well-renowned, nationally renowned guy, and we also have John Roberts that's going to be there with him to make sure, because when you start talking about the election, you want to make sure that we don't want to just bring some person on with some conspiracy theory, but he has a lot of thoughts and stuff, and we have John Robertson, our chair there, Roberts there to double check. Good information. It's going to be a good show.
Good show.
If you want to hear about the election, you want to watch it.
All right, y'all can watch it right here on WBQP TV. Great shows.
You can
on WBQP TV, right? And also you can go to the Thorn Review.
Vernon, I just want to thank you Vernon has been with me since I started my show, Vernon. I thank you for that. You're a dear friend and you're an excellent businessman. You're my mentor.
Well, my bank don't think I'm an excellent businessman, Charles. How come it ain't reflecting in my bank account? But anyway, somebody told me, hey, Charles, hey, I want to say this, then we got to go. Somebody told me when I first started this business, cause I give away more than I make sometimes, and a businessman took me to lunch one day, and he said to me, he said, Vernon, you know what you need to do? So you need to make up your mind whether you want to be a businessman or a social worker. So it look like me, you're doing more social work than you're doing business. So, hey, you got to give back.
The analogy, we have to support each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we can't wait on someone else to support a WBQP TV and Vernon. We collectively have to go in and support Vernon. We cannot ask anyone else to do what we're not willing to do for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do that.
All right, Charles. All right, Charles. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on. Okay, folks. I tell you what. We got to get out of here, and I want to see you tomorrow. It's around 9 o'clock now. See you tomorrow. I want to take it when I leave here. I want to do a commercial break, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching. And tomorrow Thursday, we got another great show lined up for you. And tell everybody about the new Vernon in the Morning show, okay? So if you want new information and stuff like that, if you got information that needs to be passed on, just text it to me here at 850-293-5007 at WBQP. Love you. See you in the morning.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.